Hey folks, it's Coby with CobyWright.com. I'd like to welcome you back to another weekly live training session. First, I'd like to ask, can everybody out there hear me? Just put a yes, why, anything you'd like in response to that. If you can hear me or can see the screen, you should see just, pretty random, the template here telling you what, live training session, et cetera, et cetera. I'm getting a lot of yeses. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Well, I see we got some new names tonight, so I'm going to look over here at our attendees list. We got a small group tonight. There must be something going on somewhere. Maybe it's a holiday and I don't know. All right, so we got some new people in the house. Amari, welcome. Chuck, welcome. We also got some regulars. Douglas, Doug, and Douglas, Doug. I would to say Drew, whose name was under Doug, and I said, sorry. Edward, James, John, Jude, Kelvin, Caleb, Mary, Peter, Russell, Troy, Zella just joined us as well. Awesome. Okay, for those of you, this is your first time. The way we do things here may be a little different than some other webinars you've been on. What I like to do is a lot of audience interaction, so you're going to have to participate, or otherwise it'll be kind of boring, because a lot of the content and what we go over is based on what you want to go over. So last week we talked about selling services, in the form of article writing, backlinking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to go over that a little tonight as well, but I'm going to wait until the end, till about the last 15 minutes, and I'm going to give you a technique to where you can sell services without actually having to do any of the work yourself. So if you just want to add an extra income stream, or you just don't want to mess with it, then I'll give you a strategy for doing that. But first, we're going to go over some questions, and so that's the way we've been doing it here lately. We're taking questions straight from y'all. And so a lot of y'all have already put questions in. If you haven't put any questions in yet, feel free to put them in now or at any point in time. So first question was from Edward, and he's asking about list building. He said there are so many to go about list building, and one that I particularly like is traffic exchanges. Most marketers that I speak to say that traffic exchanges are dead or dying, but I get better results with traffic exchanges than with safe lists, depending on the safe list, and I'm going to continue this trend. I wonder, though, is it wise a decision? Are traffic exchanges really a dying breed? Traffic exchanges, I don't think they're necessarily dying. I think they're just kind of wearing off in popularity, maybe. I don't think they'll ever really die. It's kind of like article marketing. It's people say it's dead and it's dying, which it hasn't necessarily died. It's just lost popularity, or lost its effectiveness. I do think that you can still use traffic exchanges as a great way to to build your list, or as a cheap and effective way to build your list. I haven't used traffic exchanges myself in forever. So I can't really speak for the nature of them today. I do think that you're correct that the results with traffic exchanges are better than those of SafeList, because I've never really got great results with SafeList either, or at least none that I was really. I was always disappointed. It doesn't say that much. So I do think traffic exchanges still work. I think that it depends on your strategy, and I think you probably obviously have it figured out. But the way that I would do it, if I was going to start going back to using them more, or again today, what I would do is obviously send all the traffic to a squeeze page, but I'd make it be a really short, kind of generic squeeze page, and do anything that I could to make it grab attention, and just make it as short as possible so they can read the whole page, within like 15 seconds or whatever, because most people, not most, but a lot of people that are on those traffic exchanges, are just surfing for credits so that you can view their site. So you got to get their attention and get it while you can. And a lot of people make the mistake of trying to send that traffic to sales pages and the like. So I do think they're still effective strategy, and if you're having success with them, then definitely don't stop. Just tweak what you're doing to maybe improve your conversions and find out ways that you can improve on what you're doing already. And so, yeah, definitely don't stop doing those. But I don't mess with them anymore myself, simply because I really don't have the time or the desire. So, but I don't think that they are dead, or that you're wasting your time. If you're having success with something, it's never a waste of time. So like I say, if you figure out how to do something and it's working, then you just got to figure out how you can scale it up. If you can find a way to get 50 opt-ins a day from the traffic exchanges and make one sale of one of your OTO, one or two sales of your OTO, for maybe $7 or $10. So you're making $15, $10, or $20 a day, and maybe it costs you $5 to buy the traffic, or an hour of surfing. You can think, well, I made $20 and for an hour of surfing, so I made $20 an hour. And you can work it out like that. Then I say, yeah, go for it and just figure out a way that you can scale it up. Maybe that you can buy upgrades for the, and so that you get maybe more credits for surfing, or you can, whatever. Like I said, I haven't been in the traffic exchanges for a while, so I don't know exactly how they work anymore. But just look for, if it's working for you, just look for ways to scale it up and to tweak it and get better conversions. Mary asked a question about JV giveaway events and setting up your profile, and it's probably easiest for me just to go and show you. So let me go and log into my, I do a giveaway event every month. I host one every month. Let me log in. And actually, I logged in as an admin. Let me log back. Let me log in as a contributor. That would probably make more sense. I had to pause my screen there so I can put my password in. Okay. For those of you that don't know what a JV giveaway event is, it's another form of building your list. And what you do is a lot of marketers will get together and they'll all, put in a gift, that is a link to their squeeze page where they give away a product for people to join to get on their list for free, or get on their list to get the product for free, just like typical. And so what happens is a lot of marketers get together and they all send traffic during a certain period of time to this one event. And so they all kind of share subscribers. It's kind of like doing a big ad swap. And what happens as the host is, and as a sponsor, you can see I have 3 sponsors in this event: Phil Ainsworth, Jesus Leon, and Gary L. Lewis. Is everyone that sends all the traffic to this event, they have to opt in. And then as the organizer and the sponsor, we get all the opt-ins that come in the front door. And then depending on how many opt-ins that person, the other people send is how their gift is ranked. Like if you go over here and you click on Get Gifts, you can see the person that sends, the more people that you send to the event, then the higher your gifts will get ranked, and then the more subscribers you'll get in return. So it is a results-based thing. The more you send, the more you get. We'll go back to the home here. And what she's talking about, if you click on Profile, you can see it asks for your ClickBank ID and your PayPal ID. Where it says PayPal ID, you just simply put in your PayPal email address. And ClickBank ID, if you have a ClickBank account, then you can just put in your ClickBank username there. And if you have Twitter or Facebook, you can put that stuff in there as well. And that's all that is. Mary, hope that helps. And actually most giveaways, even though they always ask you your ClickBank ID, 99% of them never use it. 99.5%. Probably I don't know if I've ever even participated in one that actually used it. But I always put it in there anyways just because. I don't know. I just do. And your PayPal ID, you put that in there. Obviously, that's just your PayPal email address. And that's all it takes there. So I'm going to log out. Hope that answers your question on that. Mary, I'm going to scroll down and see if maybe she put it in there. She said, okay, thank you. You're very welcome, ma'am. I'm going to drink my Pepsi here, and then we'll go to the next question. And I forgot to put in, let me put in some information here on the traffic exchanges. Put some tweak to improve conversions. And then Mary's question was about, oh, and let me put the link in too for any of y'all that want to join this month's giveaway event. Let me put the link in. It's gocoby.com/ninja. and she was asking about the profile. PayPal ID equals your PayPal email address. ClickBank. Can't spell today. ClickBank ID equals ClickBank affiliate username. All right. Next question was from Troy. Oh wait, no, he was talking about last week. He said, Coby, thanks, I appreciate the selling services. Webinar, you're very welcome. Oh, he means, I'm sorry. Troy was and I didn't mention at the beginning of the webinar, but if you hang around to the end, I will be giving away a copy of a video course. Troy won it last week. He was just telling me thank you for that. You're very welcome, Troy. Drew is saying hello. Welcome, Drew. Drew asked, Coby, how do you add your PayPal to your OTO? So I can get paid. And I just looked over, and we've had about 10 more people join us since we started, which is awesome. I'm going to look over at the list and see. Wilson just joined us. Rick joined us. Welcome. Sue joined us. Pam joined us. Henry joined us. Dudley joined us. And I'm probably missing some, but Ken joined us. Kim joined us. That sounded like I said the same name. The first one was Ken. The second was Kim. Right. If I missed your name, I'm sorry, but thanks for joining us. We're taking questions from the audience tonight, and then in the end, I'm going to be giving y'all strategy on using on selling services without having to do any of the work yourself, and then I'm going to be giving away a copy of the video course as well this week also. So back to a question on how do I add my PayPal to my OTO offer. And he's talking about the OTO offer that someone gets after they opt in for a free product and they join his list. So there's a couple of ways to go about this, and it kind of depends on your preference and your goals. The easiest way to do it is to just create a button within PayPal. And actually, I take that back. That's probably not the easiest way to do it, because creating a button in PayPal is kind of a pain in the butt. And if you've ever done it, or then you know what I'm saying. If you haven't, then I suggest you find ways to avoid it. And here's the ways to avoid it. You can join networks like JVZoo. There's a link for them. I'll just put all these links in at once after I get them on here. JVZoo.com, DigiResults, which is the one that I've been using a lot here recently. DigiResults.com. Wait, that is gocoby.com/digi. Simple one-click. I used to use them a lot. I don't use them much anymore. Kind of getting away from them, but they still work. Same with pay.com. I don't use them at all anymore, but I used to use them a lot back in the day. Of course, you can use ClickBank. JVZoo. Another one that you can use, this is a more advanced all-in-one solution that I've just started using recently, is Fusion HQ. I'm not even sure if that's the right link or not. We'll find out, I guess. And let's see, I'll make sure I'm not forgetting one. JVZoo, DigiResults, simple one-click. Okay, well, let's just pretend that you use DigiResults, since that's the one I'm been using here recently, so I can help you. What you would do if you go to DigiResults or JVZoo is you just create a new product, and you put the link for the sales page as your squeeze page, and then you put the product in, etc., and you would just list the product. I mean, it'd probably be just easier for me to go and show you. Let's go to DigiResults and DigiResults. Let me put these links in for y'all while I'm talking. Boom. I'm going to check and see if that last link works for Fusion HQ. It does. Okay, that's the right one. Okay, so we're at DigiResults. I'm going to log in. Give me just a second to hide my screen. Wow, my computer's running so slow today. Oh, I was already logged in. All right. Okay, so you can see I just started using them. Literally, like, because I just set up a product the other day, and I made a few sales already. But prior to that, there's not much activity as far as vendor side. But what you would do is you would, when you come in, this is on reports, go to manage, click on the manage button at the top, and then you can go to listings, which it defaults to that. You can just click right here and create a new listing. And then you create a new listing, you put your name in, you know, new Drew's cool product, cool freebie. Then you pick the category, put in the description. This is a free opt-in product with a OTO that pays 100% commission. And then a little bit about the product. This is where I would put a few lines about the freebie and the paid product. And of course, we're just going to assume that all these red lines are not misspellings because, okay, I'm just going to go back and fix it. Ah, the perfectionist disease. Okay, there we go. And then you would click create listing. And then you just follow these steps, set up sales page for Drew's Cool Product, put in your support email, support at drewswebsite.com. Sales page, you want to use a hosted sales page. If you want to use a hosted sales page, like if you don't have your own website, then you can Digital Results will host a web, similar to what JVZoo. JVZoo does this too. You click that, and you can design the sales page within their own, and then they host it for you. Or if you've already got the sales page set up, which in this case we would, you would put in your drewswebsite.com/squeeze page, and update product, set a price, and just click all that. Just do that same as it is. Commission, we're going to do 100% since we want to get as many fields as we can. We'll say the price is $7. Delivery method, choose one that we put in your thank you page. You could do this two ways. You could put in your thank you page, could be an opt-in form to a buyer's list with a link that says like no thank you. I'll give you an example of that right here. You can see here's an example. Here's a thanks for your purchase. Just one step left, register your product. And there's an opt-in form at the bottom down here. I have a link that says I don't want to register product. And that takes them straight to the download page. And so here you would put a link to this, a page like this, or that goes straight to the download page. Or you could use a hosted download page, again, if you don't have your own site. And then what you would do is you just upload your files directly to Digital Results, and they host a download page for you. So in this instance, we're just going to pretend that Drew's site put his download page here. We'll put buyers opt-in, and then click update variant. And now you can see what you can do. You could go in here and you click on the product. Just click on it. Whenever you hover over, it'll highlight edit product. Click on that. And now you could set up your autoresponder if you have it. Aweber, whatever, you can do it from here. And I don't see it actually on this exactly. Let me click where it says variant. I'm going to click on the default. And you can see here it says autoresponder integration. You just click edit and you'd set up your Aweber or whatever, and then they're automatically added to your list. And then, or you could send them to a buyer's opt-in, or you could do both, just whatever you wish to do. So we'll go back here and we'll pretend that we've got all that set up. And of course, if you want to do equity partners, an upsell, et cetera, all that, it's pretty straightforward. And so we're good here. So we'll go back over here and see where we're at. Now all we would do is we click start selling. But actually I need to get a buyer. How do I get a buy button? I'm confused. Because I did it when I when I do it, I use a membership software. I use the Fusion HQ and I link them together. So I do it a little bit differently. So let me find out how to get the buy button. I think I have to click the start selling. And where is the buy button? Let me click on this edit product again and see if I can. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. It's right here at the top. After you click the you click on the product, click get buy button code, and here you go. This one will work just fine. Or they have other ones. Or if you know HTML or something, you could change this, I'm sure. But this would work for us. So you would click that, right click it and copy it, and then you just paste this into the HTML of your OTO, and you'd be set. And then you'd be listed on DigiResults, and so they would take care of your whatever after they purchase, they're instantly taken back to DigiResults, and they're shown the correct thank you page, so they don't get lost in between PayPal. If you set up a PayPal button, they have to click the little return to vendor, and sometimes they don't know to click that, or they just don't click it, and so then you get an email saying I didn't get my product, blah blah blah, or you get a dispute. If you're doing it this way, it works a lot better. Plus, DigiResults will send them an email with a link to the download page, a receipt with a link to the download page, and you're all taken care of. And then, of course, you might even pick up some affiliates that could promote that and build your list for you as well. So I hope that helps. And I'm going to go back and delete this product. Go. And it's that simple. Let's go back and check out the next question. By the way, Drew, did that help you? Yeah. Drew said he had a JVZoo account. It's almost exactly the same. You're absolutely right. Just whichever one that you're comfortable with, whichever one you like, go with. And like I said, any of the ones I put in there are pretty much similar, and so they're all going to work more or less the same. That'd be the best way to go. It's a lot easier than trying to set up a PayPal button yourself. And of course, there also is plugins and stuff that you can use that don't need any of those networks as well. That's always a route. That's always an example. I forgot one that I use, and that's getdpd.com. I think that's the right. Yeah, it is. So that's another one that you wouldn't need any of those networks. So we go down to the next question. I'm scrolling down. I'm gonna get drinking my Pepsi. Getting a little parched here. Drew asked, oh wait, I passed it, sorry. Troy asked, where do you outsource some of the tasks you either don't want to do or don't have time to do? My favorite place is Fiverr. Fiverr.com is my favorite place to get stuff done. Cheap, quick, $5, and it's a one and done deal. And if I like them, then I can make longer term deals with them outside of Fiverr. Which you have to be careful with because it's kind of it's borderline breaking their TOS depending on how you go about it. You actually could be breaking their TOS if you just come out and say, hey, let's do business outside of Fiverr, and you're deliberately trying to take them off Fiverr just because you don't want to pay the Fiverr fees or something. That is breaking their TOS. But if you want to do bigger jobs with them outside of Fiverr, or even sometimes now with Fiverr, they've got more flexible and they've added like the extra services option, so they can actually charge you more right away, and so you can do it through Fiverr without worry about breaking TOS and stuff. That's one of my favorite places to outsource. When it comes to doing more techie stuff, I go to scriptlance.com. Put that link over here in the chat box for y'all. Scriptlance.com, and another good one for articles and stuff is if you go to iWriter.com for pretty much anything to do with writing. And you can use, their basis is articles, but you can take those articles and turn them into an ebook. You can use them for blog posts. You can use it for a PLR product. You can do a lot of things with articles. So it's an article site, but don't just be like, oh, I don't need articles. You got to open your mind and think creatively. Those are pretty much the sites I use most. And also have local employees that I use, for customer service. And on and that's Carolyn, help desk manager. And then we have some other people that we use as needed, so that are friends of ours. So those are the main places that I use. There's also, you can go to odesk.com. I've used them in the past a little bit. You can go to Freelancer. I've used them as a vendor where I was providing services. But these days I use Fiverr for most of the stuff that I do, or I find someone on Scriptlands for most of the tech stuff. And another place also that I always forget this, I don't know why I forget it because I use it a lot, is the Warrior Forum, and that's if you go to warriorforums.com, the Warriors for Hire section. That's where I get graphic work done. If I need some graphics or something, I'll go over there. Drew asks, can you add your opt-in form into Weber, and if so, how do you go about doing it? I don't know if I understand that exactly. Can you add your own opt-in form to a Weber? Like if you have one, you can, well, I think I kind of know what you're asking. Let me go to Weber. You can design your own, and you can upload your own button and stuff. Like if you go to web forms, I've got a semi, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm not very good at trying to say what I'm trying to say. Let me pick one of my web forms here. Let me just pick this one. Look at it and see if it's what I'm looking for. You can see this is, this is pretty custom, but it's not really as custom as it looks. Like I didn't have a designer design anything. I just designed it using their own little web form creator. But what I do is I click on create a new web form, and I just chop them down. Like I'll use this basic one that they give us, and I just chop it down. I remove the header. A lot of times I remove first name. I'll remove this little email privacy thing. I'll remove this email marketing by Weber thing. Or I take off the footer, and then click on body and change the background color to no color. And go to border, and click on none. I forgot to remove this email marketing by Weber. All I do to remove those is click the X. Now you can see now I'm down right now to a pretty basic form that looks pretty nice. But I'm still not done. Next thing that I do is I'll click on the button, and I use my own. You have to click on this advanced, and so that's why mine looks like a custom form, because I just have that button. And all you do is you can have a button created anywhere, or if you find one you like somewhere, you can and you have the rights to use it, you can use it. I think this is the link. Doesn't look like it's working. Oh, yeah, it is. All right. So that is put the link in for my new button. Resize it. Make sure I put it. No. Pushing it. Is that how I want it? Yeah. Like that. Make sure I got that center. There we go. Click on the email. Or I'm sorry, click on labels. And all I'm going to do is make it bigger. Make it like 18. Bold it. Let me make it 24. There you go. look better at 18. And it's that simple. And just save web form, and you're good to go. Now, that's how I've always done it. And if you had one custom made, then you could actually, you would need to just have it set to work with Aweber. And what you would need to do is you'd need to be a little bit smarter than me, and you would need to go to like the raw HTML version. You'd have to figure out how to work in like the most important thing that you need is you just go down to the bare form, and you need to make to have it to work in. Oops, whenever I clicked on it, moved it down. Like, you know, the Aweber. The most important thing is like this aweber.com/scripts/add-lead.pl. You got to make sure that your custom form has this information in there, like the meta. The most important things it needs are the list name and the form ID, the web form ID, and then this Aweber, you know, add lead. Those are the most important, and usually if you're using like a plugin or something to make your opt-in form, then they'll have all that included, you know, when it creates it already. So I'm not sure if that answered your question, but I hope that it did. I'll show you on my Aweber list if you want to see. It's at 14,000 at the moment. All right, so let's get to the next question. Hope that helped, Drew. Caleb asks, is Empower Network worth joining? Although this may not seem directly related, but is being touted as a great list building mechanism because I hear they come over 80 follow-up emails to use. Obviously, I haven't joined the Empower Network, and I'm probably the wrong person to be asking that question because I kind of have mixed feelings about that network because all the videos that I watch, I get a weird, like, I don't know, I just get a really creepy vibe about that David Wood guy every time I see him. And to me, those videos look so fake, like the Costa Rica video. They look like they're, you know, like 90% of them to me look like they're on a green screen. And it may just be me being paranoid. Excuse me. And not liking, I guess, the type of marketing that I feel that they do, which, you know, sometimes it's people rub you the wrong way, and that program just rubs me the wrong way. I won't promote it to my list. People that ask me that do ad stops with me, if I notice, I mean, maybe one or two might have snuck in there that I didn't notice, but if people that try to, you know, do ad stops with me, that send their leads to that, then I won't do an ad stop with them, or at least I won't send my leads knowingly to an Empower Network opt-in page, simply because I just don't like the if you go to scam.com, there's a lot of bad press about that site, and you have to have a merchant account to use them, or you did at one point in time whenever I was researching them, because I did a lot of research on them, and because I've had a lot of subscribers ask me about them, and a lot of them, the reason I stopped talking about it is because a lot of them, whenever I tell them what I'm telling you on now, that I think it looks fake and that the videos are fake, et cetera, that they get kind of offended because that's not what they want me to say. They want me to say, yeah, it looks great, you should join it. But again, I haven't used it, so that's kind of a biased opinion. But that's my honest opinion. So I can't tell you, though, as far as list building wise, how great it is. You know, I mean, you know, if it comes with 80 follow-up emails, the problem is that probably everyone that is promoting that is using the same follow-up emails, and then all the leads are getting the same. You know, so not that that's a bad thing, because it's kind of but at the same time, I think that it might lose its effectiveness. And I don't know, I just don't like the way the pay set out is, and all that. And I've watched several, or not several, but I've watched a few hours worth of videos from the David Wood. So I'm not just talking on my butt because I just, you know, made a didn't like them. I actually did some research on them, and I was watching, and some of the videos that I watched, just the way they worded things and stuff, I didn't like it, and so that's purely my opinion. I don't really know on a list building side how good it is, and so take that for what it's worth. Take it for it with a grain of salt. That is my honest opinion on it. So I hope I don't offend anyone. If you're in it, and you're having success, that's awesome. So, but that's just my opinion of it. I don't typically like those type of programs, anyways, because it's hard for me to figure out what their product is. Troy said, Coby, will you be making an offering at the end? I have to get off today right before 7 p.m. Yeah, Troy, but it'll be the same one as last week, so you'll be safe. You've already got it. Mary said my volume was coming and going. Let me adjust my mic here. Drew said, do you just make up generic form and put the code into the opt-in form, and how do you know? Normally what I do, Drew, is what I just showed you. I'll just create a new form, but it'll be just like all the other ones that I create. But with Indica, since their forms are a little bit easier to work with, and you just have to switch out the list ID, I could use it. I use one generic form, and then I just swap out my list ID. But with Aweber, I have to make a new one. But it only takes me a few minutes, so I hope that answered the question. Yes, on what part of the code do you use? I will use normally I'll take all of it. If I was going to be trying to make a custom form, I would just take out the plain HTML without the formatting. But if I go through the trouble of designing, then I'm going to use the one that has all the features in there. Jude asked, how do you get targeted traffic as an affiliate marketer, and how to do business on CPAs? Okay, first, CPA, I have no knowledge because I have never done it. I'm not even a member yet in a CPA network. So, however, CPA is similar to list building, depending on the offer that you're promoting, because a lot of times you can promote a free, if you're doing a zip submit or like an email submit or something, it's pretty much the same as if you were promoting, trying to build your list, you're trying to get opt-ins. So in that form, that you can pretty much. So when it comes to that, depending on what you're promoting, you want to make sure that you have a landing page that is pretty straightforward, but short and choppy, so that it converts well. And I'm not going to lie and try to pretend to be a CPA, genius or anything. So I'm not really gonna. I don't want to give you any false knowledge of CPA. So sorry about that, but I will answer your second question. That's how to get targeted traffic. The best way to get targeted traffic is to pay for it. And I know that's not exactly what you wanted to hear, but what I mean to is buying, pay-per-click, like Facebook, obviously Google AdWords, 7 Search, Plenty of Fish, Lead Impact, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, solo ads, and solo ads, if you can get from like Arcamax and other places like that, if you're not in the internet marketing niche. Oops, I don't know why I deleted all that. Basically, what you want to do is you want to tweak, do a lot of testing when you're doing paid traffic. Is test, 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 test. Start small, and if it's working, for example, when I use paid traffic, I nearly always, actually 99% of the time, I'm sending it to a squeeze page. And that's because I want to build my list. Now, so for me, if I'm using, say, lead impact, which is pay-per-view, pay-per-view, I guess I should change this to say I'm using Lead Impact or Directv, then in these you're promoting, you know, like a smaller, like pop-up, usually like 700 by 800 in that range. That's a weird, like, you know, like a small square. I don't know, like 700 by 500, I think is actually what I'm trying to think of, or 500 by 700, whatever. About half a screen square. And so you want to promote a really small, choppy, a really small, short, to the point, but generic squeeze page. But you're also going to be targeting your traffic to certain URLs. So whenever I buy traffic from Lead Impact, Direct CPV, et cetera, Direct CPV is one that I use when I was getting started because they have the cheapest deposit, $100 to get started, and their traffic is kind of slower than it is at Lead Impact, so you don't have to worry about blowing your money unless you use their run of network, which that's a whole different strategy, and I don't suggest you try to go for that because it's not as targeted. So what you target, let's say that I'm promoting a list building squeeze page, which I'll normally do. I will normally promote this squeeze page right here. You can see it's pretty small, so it fits pretty good, perfectly into the requirements of most of the CPV networks. Oops, sorry. And so if I'm targeting, in that case, I'm list building. So the URL, type of URLs I'm going to be targeting are ones like that I know list builders are going to, like aweber.com, getresponse.com. Oops, not getresponse, but getresponse.com. You know, icontact.com, and then any other list building type of website that I come across, then I put that in at Direct CPV, and you bid on those URLs. And so what happens is anyone that has, you know, the software that Direct CPV software installed on their computer comes across on these websites, then your squeeze page will pop up. So if they visit Aweber, then my squeeze page will pop up saying, hey, if you want to add 100 to 300 subscribers to your list, watch this free video. Well, how many of those people do you think are actually going to opt into my list if they're going to Aweber, or if they're going to Get Response or iContact or Constant Contact or any of these other list building places? I mean, if they're going to Aweber, they have an Aweber account more than likely, and they're going to see how many opt-ins they got that day. So you get pretty targeted traffic that way, and it's fairly cheap. And you pay for impressions. So in that case, you bid on it, and it's normally about 2 cents or so a view. And so with that, I'd just be I didn't do too much testing on that because it got fairly decent opt-in rate and conversions, and so I was kind of happy with it. I didn't test on it too much. But if I was doing that solely, just that, then I would want to start figuring out ways to improve this squeeze page. Maybe split test it without the e-cover image, you know, and or maybe without the footer, you know, or maybe split test it with a different color background, and just find out ways to improve my conversions. And then once, if I split tested it with, say, a blue background, and I found out that improved my conversions about 2%, well, then I would change it to a blue background, and then I could start split testing it, you know, with like maybe without the image. You know, so I would use a blue background and then split test it without the e-cover image, and then split test one page like it is with the blue background. And then I would figure out which one of those converted better. And if I figured out that it converted, you know, like 1% better without the e-cover, well, then I could change that. And you just keep testing one element at a time. And eventually, you're going to get that to where it's converting 70, 80, 90, close to 100, you know, almost 100% sometimes. And it's just because you just got to keep testing and testing and testing. And then once you get your front end, you know, your squeeze page dialed down, and you get it tested to where you're satisfied, you're getting at least 50%, then you would need to start working on your OTO. So in this case, I know that this OTO converts fairly well, even though it's not really an OTO. It's just the freebie with some links to the paid product. It converts really well. And so what I would do next is I would start trying to figure out ways to get more profit out of this download page. And I may add another banner down here, maybe put a banner for safe swaps, which is, for those who know, is a place where you can find the ad swap partners. So I might put a banner underneath here to that, because they're already interested in list building, and that's also a recurring membership site. So I could get recurring income from that. So I may put a banner to that. I may put a link to Aweber or GetResponse or Imnica, I may, etc. So that's how I would start increasing my, basically my sales or my money made per opt-in. And then so once you find out that you're making at least $1.10 for every dollar that you put into it, then you just scale up. And you start, you tweak it, and when you're buying traffic, if you just can improve your conversion about 1%, it can make a huge difference if you're buying a large amount of traffic. And then you just keep finding ways to further monetize it and get the most bang for your buck. So I hope that helped a little bit, but the key to getting targeted traffic when you're buying it is to take advantage of whatever network that you're buying it from, demographics, and they're targeting. Like Facebook, you can target different, you can drill down your what you're bidding on to certain age, certain gender, and you can do that at pretty much all networks. So take advantage of that. And as far as getting free traffic, one of the best places to get free traffic right now, in my opinion, is YouTube. And then, one of the next best places is probably the social networks. And that's just whichever one is your favorite, Pinterest, Facebook, whatever, just whatever one you're comfortable using. And then YouTube, obviously, YouTube is my favorite because Facebook keeps banning me because they think I'm a spammer, even though I hardly ever use them. I don't know. Someone doesn't like me on Facebook. Mary said, Mary, did I answer your question? Because I see you had another question that said, answer my next two things. Did I miss one? Troy asked, who is the girl with the pink hair holding a pink gun in one of your Warform products? Is that Carolyn? No, that's a stock photo that I purchased. That's just a stock photo that I bought. Peter said, I was on Fiverr.com and noticed a person offering to send an ad of your choice to 3,500 friends for $5. Is this a good way to grow a list? Actually, Peter, that's not a bad way at all to get started. And if they're sending it to like Facebook, if you have a Facebook fan page, then that may be a good way to grow some of your fans that you can in turn maybe turn into email subscribers. I've never done it. I've never paid anyone to do that, but what I have done with Twitter, I'm sorry, with Fiverr in means of promoting is like whenever I was first getting started and I didn't have a very big email list, and I was participating in JV giveaway events, you had to promote them to stay a member and to get the most benefit from them. So since I didn't have a list that was very big or that could really send any referrals, what I did was I would go and find people on Fiverr that would send it to Twitter or Facebook or whatever and just have them promote my JV giveaway link. So it does work, and it would probably work the same if you were doing it to a squeeze page. But since it's $5, you could test it and see if it worked and go from there. I think for $5, it's worth a try. Logan said, I already heard you recommend Imnica. Just wondering if they allow you to copy and paste HTML code into a squeeze page like Aweber does. Yes. Yeah, Imnica HTML forms are similar, but they're not nearly as nice. And so if you are good at making custom forms in Imnica's, their forms are really easy to work with. What I did is I just, now I have a generic form that I use with Imnica, and I just swap out the list ID, which takes about a minute or 10 seconds. And Caleb posted a link in here that he made a video on how to upload a sales page and make a PayPal button if Drew or anyone else wants to check it out. There's a link for that. I haven't watched it yet, so that's my disclosure. But I trust that coming from Caleb. It's good. Mary said, I bought a program on Sunday. Let me make sure. Let me read through this first, make sure. She said, I bought a program on Sunday and had a computer problem. I was buying from ClickSure, and my account was charged, but when I go to ClickSure and enter the order number, its site tells me order not found. Is there any other way that support email to contact these people? I've used support and billing of ClickSure and even the product support and still have not heard back from them. What would you do in this case? I haven't used ClickSure yet. So I have registered there, but I haven't got any further than that than registering as an affiliate. And I haven't bought any products from them, through there yet either. So I have limited experience with them, but I don't know that I would do anything differently than what sounds like you've already done so far. I guess that really the only thing that you can do now, the only remaining thing you can do is file a dispute with PayPal. And I hate to ever recommend that because, I mean, that's always just the last case scenario, a resort, because that's not, I don't really recommend anyone make a habit of doing that and never do it unless you just absolutely have to. But, I mean, all you can really do is contact support for the product owner and a ClickSure, which it sounds like you've already done. And after that, if you get no response, then you are forced to make a PayPal dispute. And I really hate to recommend that to anyone, but sometimes that's the only option. Uh, Logan asked this, and I covered this at the beginning, Logan, before you got here. Logan said, what do you think about traffic exchanges, credits for leads, etc.? I heard it may attract the wrong or too generic buyer. Like I said, I haven't used those in years, so I can't say exactly, but I do know that you can get buyers out of traffic exchanges. As for the type of leads it generates these days, I can't really speak for the quality of leads, but I really think it depends on how you target those leads, and I think it would depend on your squeeze page really and what you're giving away on your squeeze page and how you structure your squeeze page, like the wording on your squeeze page. I know that's kind of a generic answer, but I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm just scrolling through the questions here. I'm about to see if there's any more that need to be addressed before I give you all the tip on how the strategy on having others do the work when selling services. Drew asked, in your opinion, is it better to have AWeber host your squeeze page or you host it yourself? Usually I host it myself. I was just wondering. The only time that I have AWeber host, and when you're doing it, because see, AWeber actually only hosts the opt-in form itself. So you have to make the opt-in form look like a squeeze page, which is not too hard to do. The only time I do that is if I have no need for a squeeze page, like if it's a buyer's bonus or something, and that's about the only time I will do it. And that's simply because I really don't have the need to put up a full-time squeeze page because it'll be like a one-time thing. That's about, so usually 99% of the time though, I'm going to host it myself, and I recommend always recommend you try to host it yourself when possible, or then when it makes sense. Oh, cool. Mary said, no, I answered someone else's question. It was also one of hers. That's awesome. Oh, ClickSure doesn't go through PayPal. Oh, no. I really don't know, Mary. That's a hard one. If anyone else may know if you've dealt with ClickSure, uh, and you know how to contact their support or get a refund, or man, then you may have to. I thought maybe you might have paid for it with PayPal. So I guess if you use your credit card, you might have to do a chargeback on your credit card, and then that really sucks. Caleb asked about Arcamax. I haven't actually used them, Caleb, because it's more of consumer, a generic consumer type of list. So I've never actually used them. I didn't feel, I just haven't, because I can buy solo ads straight from someone with an internet marketing list, so I haven't used them directly, but I always thought it'd be a good idea to use them whenever I got into a more broader niche. And I think that the results you get will depend on really on how you structure your ad and the market that you're targeting, because it is a general consumers list, so it's kind of harder to target them. I would think they would do better if you were promoting something more general consumers would be using. Make money. You can structure a make money online offer, to appeal to a wider general consumer audience. But that's why I haven't used them. Although it is an option, and I know that a lot of people have used them, so I just like to mention them. And that is full disclosure that I don't want to tell you that they're awesome and I've used them a million times. Drew asked, which autoresponder can you move your list to these days without a big hassle? It's not really, you can't really move them to any of them these days without a hassle. So I know that Imnica was doing imports, and GetResponse will do them sometimes for you. But it's hard to say. There's sometimes smaller companies that pop up will allow it. I say if you're happy with the company you're using, and then just stick with it. And if not, whatever company, then when you start looking for new companies, then this is what I did whenever I was looking for new autoresponders, is I would, do my research, and if I found one that I was interested in, then I would contact their support and ask them about importing, and any other questions that I had. Okay. Let's get into this technique on how you can selling services without doing the work. There's a few ways to do this, but the easiest way, or let me start over. There's two ways to go about this, and they kind of work either or. You can do it, let me just tell you all the way. One way to do this is to set up a Fiverr gig for, let's say, articles. Let's say you'll do 2 for $5, which is actually, Fiverr takes $1, so you're actually getting $4. You're getting paid $2 per article. And so then what you would do is, and you would also go and set this same gig up on all the other Fiverr clone sites. There's probably 12, 20 of them, and you just go and just Google them and put the same gig up on all these sites. Then what you would do is you would go somewhere like Odesk, or VWorker or iWriter.com or wherever, one of the other freelancing sites, and then you set up a gig as a vendor needing article writers, or you set up a gig looking for article writers. And you be sure to mention that they will get steady work. And then you'll pay them $1 an article, which is actually not bad. And let's just say that you're doing 500-word articles, or you can do 400 or whatever. And so whenever I was an article writer and I was getting paid to write articles, I was getting paid about $1 an article, so for about 500 words, something like that. So it's not huge money, but as you see, what's happening is now they're going to write 2 articles for you, and you're going to pay them $2. And then you give those articles to your client, and client pays you $4. You keep $2 for basically assigning the writer the job. So you become the middleman, and you make $2 for finding someone that needed work, and basically finding someone that had work that needed to be done, and finding someone that needed work and giving it to them, and then taking basically a finder's fee for finding them the work. And you could do this with any service. You could do this with backlinking, with social bookmarking, graphics. I had a friend that, here's what he did. Here's was his version of this strategy. and this was with graphics. This was an offline. This is actually an offline version. Here's what he would do. Is he found graphic designers. Hang on. First, he found a salesman on Craigslist, and he took 4 or 5 interviews, and he just met them. He met them at Starbucks, and interviewed them at Starbucks, and told them what they'd be doing, and that they were getting paid on commission only. So now, what these salesmen would do is they would go to local businesses. Save time, to local biz and sell them graphics, for their websites, etc. Basically sell them a website and pay them, charge them $1,500. So the salesman got 50% of this. So the salesman got paid $750. And so my friend took $750. And then he had a graphic designer in the Philippines that he paid to do the graphics, $300. So he would profit $450, and he did nothing, but basically supervised the project. And so it took him a week to hire the salesman to do the interviews at Starbucks. And then he didn't have any money up front because the salesman did the selling. He didn't have to pay them anything until they made a sale. And so they collect the check whenever they make the sale. Or, you could take half. They give you half, and you can pay the salesman half right up front. And you can put half down on to the graphic designer. And then the designer delivers the work, show it to the business, they okay it, the designer finishes it, profit the money. And how many times a week would you have to do this before you're making a pretty easy income? And you can see you could do this with any service and using pretty much any variety of sites, or doing it even offline. You just have to find a strategy that you're comfortable with and that you like and go to town with it. So I hope that gives y'all some ideas and that makes y'all's brain start pumping. So, all right, now it's time to the fun part. Let's give away this video course. So today we're going to do it the same way we did it last week, and what we're going to do is, in just a moment, I'm going to tell you to type in "I want the video course." If you want, you can go ahead and pre-type it on your chat. Just don't hit the enter button yet. And what I'm going to do is, in just a moment, I'm going to count to 3 and tell you to type it in. And the 5th person to type this in, or let's do 7 today. It'll be lucky number 7 that types this in will win it. Okay? And so we'll do like the radio station. Caller number 7. So on the count of 3, I want you to type in "I want the video course," and this video course is over selling services. So it'll just help you more on what we were just talking about. So count of 3, you can go ahead and type it in now if you want. Just don't hit enter because it won't count. Oh, that didn't count, Doug. So the count of 3, you can pre-type it, just don't hit enter. So on the count of 3, type in "I want the video course," and lucky number 7 will be the winner. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Type it in. "I want the video course." All right, there we go. Everybody's typing it in. Okay, if you haven't typed it in yet, don't bother. Okay, y'all can stop. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's see who the winner is. See, the first one was Drew. Kim, you were number 2. James, you were 3. Mary was 4. Edward was 5. Doug was 6 on his second try. Dudley Bowers, number 7. Peter Church, you just barely missed it. And Caleb, you were 8 or 9. So Dudley, if you will send me your email in the chat box, I will get you fixed up after the webinar. And I might have to, I'll probably have to set up like a coupon or something. That's what I had to do with Troy, because I couldn't figure out how to do it any other way because I'm not too smart. So, and if you've already bought the video course, Dudley, then just put in a help desk ticket. And actually, if you don't hear from me tonight, put in a help desk ticket. I'll get you fixed up on that, because that video course. Now, for everybody else, you can pick up this video course also at www.cobywright.com/selling services. Put that in here and I'll show y'all. It is a whopping $7. $7. You can check it out here. I'll let you read the sales page. I won't read it to you unless you want me to. But I will go through here and so, here's an idea, some of the services that you can make money with. Design services, which is, we just gave you an example of one way you could do that without actually knowing how to actually do design. Banners, headers, website design, ebook writing services, articles. We talked about an example of how to do that. Also, writing reports for people, technical services, selling WordPress, and selling turnkey packages. That's just a few examples. And I go through here and show you some of the stuff that we go over in the video course. And that's, here's a sample: how to determine what kind of services can be sold, how to determine what your strengths are, the best kinds of clients to get, selling packages versus offering individual services, types of services you can sell, fastest and easiest ways to get paid, and then even how to get others to do all the work for you while you sit back and get a cut. We talked a little bit about that just a while ago. And then it says, of course, you're backed by my 30-day money-back guarantee, and the product is currently only $7. So you can click there. There's not a one-time offer or anything at the moment. That's it, $7. I will be adding some bonuses and stuff to this in the future, and I'll be upping the price. And of course, you buy it now, you'll still have access to any bonuses and stuff that are added in the future, and you'll be notified via email. But then the price will be going up. So it is $7 right now. If you happen to be watching this as a replay and it's not $7, I'm sorry, but it is currently $7, so you can take advantage of that today. By going to www.gocoby.com/selling-services. And thank you, Dudley. I'm going to save your email over here. Okay, so I'm not going to do a hard salesman pitch on you. If you want the video course and you got a few bucks to spare, go ahead and pick it up. It's pretty cheap, and I think you will enjoy the content. If you have any further questions about anything that we've covered tonight, or about the special offer that I'm offering you tonight, the Selling Services video course, which some of y'all may have already bought this because I sent an email about it and also promoted, or I mentioned it at the end of last week's webinar. So if you've already got it, no problems. I hope you are enjoying it and putting the content to good use. If you've got any questions about anything we covered tonight, go ahead and put those in. Let me look and see if we've got any. Dudley said, thanks, Coby. Great info as always. Also, thanks for the free video course. You're very welcome, Dudley. Jude said, what is the best short URL cloaking service to use to protect our affiliate links or our affiliate commissions from hackers? It's a good question. I use a couple different ones. The one that I use most often is one by Mike Cowles, and that's this gocoby.com, the one that URLs that you see me using all the time. If you go to gocoby.com/redirect, that's that one. Whenever I bought it, it was a little bit cheaper. It's gone up in price now because I bought it when it was in beta, but now I think it's $97 now. But he's added a lot. He's updated it since I bought it too, so you get a lot of extra cool stuff now. You got all the information there if you want to check that out. That's one that I use most often. And then of course you can also use, there's WordPress plugins that you can use. let me getting lost here. There's WordPress plugins you can use like Pretty Link. I've got a WordPress plugin that I'll be releasing soon that allows you to cloak them. Really, it's just, and then yeah. So trying to think of. You can also set up your own if you go to like. This URL here, yourls.org. They have a free PHP script that you can use if you're a techie or can follow instructions. But there's also I don't know if I mentioned a WordPress plugin called Pretty Link that you can get a free version of that will cloak them. You can also do it by hand if you look up PHP code. There's a pretty simple snippet that you can use to set up your own URLs, like on a as-needed basis. But I don't use tinyURL anymore. I also use CLIQ as the second one, the one that I use the second most. And gocoby.com/CLIQ. That's one that I use for tracking the conversions on my solo ads and whatnot. You can see there's the their website. Mary asked about bit.ly. I don't use them anymore because I don't like using third-party services because they can shut down your link at any time. You never know. I like to have it, on my control. Logan asked if I stopped recording some of my webinars for a while. No, I just, Logan, I've gotten behind on my replays, so that's what happens. I've got them recorded, I just haven't got the replays up. Caleb asked, what's the GoCoby link to that redirect one that you once promoted? Oh, yeah, Richard Wing has one. I think that's the one you're talking about. And I think it was that it? I'm not sure if I even, let's see if that's it. I'm not sure if that's it or not. His was called the list building. Oh, that's not it. His was called redirect on steroids. I could probably get you a Warrior forum or a Warrior Plus link. That might not be. I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about, but let me look and see. Because that's the only other one that I promoted other than the one by Mike. That's this one right here, redirect on steroids. Let me get the link. And on that one, I did put autoresponder magic as a bonus for anyone that bought that. And here's the link on that. That's another one. That one's pretty cheap. Or it's a lot more, or it's cheaper than Mike's. It's a little bit different, so it might not, be sure to check it out. It's got some different features that are pretty unique features, actually. I think that might have been the one you're talking about, Caleb. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Caleb said it's the one where you set it up on your own hosting and it gives you footer and header and social media control. Yeah, that's the one by Richard Wing. I'm not sure why. I don't have the GoCoby link memorized if I ever used one. So, and let me put as usual. Let me put the links where you can find the replays whenever I get them up. And also where you can find some other cool stuff on my blog, short videos and whatnot, and on YouTube. And then if you have Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I would give you say you could follow me on Facebook, but I got banned from Facebook again, and I don't log in for Facebook for like a month, and I log in, it says my account's been disabled. And they said the most common cause of being disabled is for spamming. which I don't know. I don't if I even I don't know how I can spam if I don't even log in for a month. But hey, apparently somebody at Facebook doesn't like me, but it's no big deal. No skin off my nose. There's the links for those. And also, I forgot to mention at the beginning these QR codes here. If you can get instant notification by text message each week whenever I post the replays and whenever we're starting our training session by simply texting the word webinar to the phone number 615-326-1155 or by scanning one of these QR codes here and pressing send. You should get a success message telling you, welcome. If you don't get that message, then try again. So be sure to bring that to y'all's attention so that you can be sure to catch this each week. I try to do this every week. Mary said that Facebook gave her a warning for too many friend requests. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Drew said, thanks, Coby. You're the man. I would be lost if it's not for you in these webinars and your mastermind. Thank you for your time. It really helps. You're very welcome, sir. Caleb said, well, there was a lot covered tonight, and I definitely need the replay along with the PDF version. Yes, I will. I've been slacking on the PDF versions, but I will definitely try to get this one out with this replay. And I got Carolyn on the replays now, so we should be getting caught up on those shortly. All right. I'm not sure if I make sure I didn't miss anything. There's all those links. Yep, we're good there. This, I guess I can take this out because this is not a good link, so we'll take that out. Cool. All right. So I guess we'll call it a night. Oh, we got one more question. Let me see if it's. Nope. Just Sue and Logan saying thank you. Y'all are very welcome. Mary said thanks, Coby. As always, great stuff. You're very welcome, Mary.